Hello guys, welcome to the weekly market overview. It's me Pierre at PAFX. Well, it have been some vacation and there was no weekly overview last week, and this week I have not the possibility to be live with you, so I made this recording to try to help you out understanding what will happen next week in the market. So I hope you enjoy it. Of course, if you do not forget to hit the like button. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe to have all the new videos and when we go live for notifications. So let's take a look at the disclaimer as first. As usual, please read the disclaimer to know about the risk involved in trading, and that these sessions are only the way I see the market and the way I will trade it. It's not to be seen as a signal in any way, yeah? So, for news next week, we do have some events. We start Mondays with some speeches. First of all, Kuroda for the Boji. I'm not expecting a lot there. Then we do have President Draghi will speak twice, and that will be due to testify about the economy and monetary policy before the European Parliament Economic and Monetary Affairs Committee in Brussels, and that will be twice for Monday. I think Monday speech is an important one to try to see if we're gonna get any more hawkish language from the ECB, but nothing major more than that. Tuesday we have for the sterling the GDP and manufacturing production should be a market mover for the sterling pairs. And Wednesday, once again, President Draghi gonna speech, and I'm not expecting a lot on Wednesday since I'm not sure that he gonna have much more to say after the Monday speech. For the CAD, we have an important overnight rate and the BOC rate statement. That's going to be an important event to and the market expecting a hike on Wednesday. But the most important is to see what the statement is, and after that the press conference to try to see if there is any change in the language, if it is a hawkish or a dovish hike. Also on Wednesday we do have Governor Carney gonna have a speech at the Wednesday afternoon Europe time, and the Thursday we do have the SEB monetary policy meeting accounts, and after that New York session we do have the CPI and core CPI for the US dollar. That gonna be a very important one. The market is expecting 0.2. Last month we had also 0.2, and for the months on months the market is expecting 0.2 as well. And last month the numbers came as expected. So two important numbers for the US dollar on Thursday, yeah? Let's start looking at the chart, and we start with the Dixie as usual. I have the weekly chart here, and as you see, since the Dixie reached the 95.15 area, where I mentioned that level many times in my earlier overviews, we see that we got 2 weeks of rejection, and last week we got close below the earlier below this these couple of inverted hammer we had. So it is a clear rejection at this level. It was an important level because this will change the bias longer term on the dollar for long-term bullish. And as for now, the bulls was not able to break and hold above that on the weekly. As you see, couple of rejection here, and now possible continuation to the downside. Daily time frame, we see that we had this double top here, where the neckline is now broken and confirmed by this Friday candle here. As you see, we had major divergence coming from already from this level and this high also here. So as you see on the daily, we had a clear bearish divergence, and with the double top now and the confirmation of the broken neckline, that make me expect the dollar to keep moving lower to test these lows back down here where we had this double bottom and where we do have this month's S1 at this level. So short-term continuation bearishness for the dollar toward the 93.20 area down here as first trouble level, that we should see some defense from the bulls, I think. If we go down to lower time frame, as the 4 hour, we see that we've been inside, let me take some of these off. We see that we've been inside this descending channel, broke monthly pivot point, and we broke this important structure here where we had the neckline of the double top on the daily, and it is a major neckline for this double top on the 4 hour as well. So look for a possible retest of this broken structure next week, and then probably a continuation, as I said, to reach these lows down here. Yeah, so if the dollar does not manage to break above this channel, we are still looking at least short-term bearish toward monthly S1. Gold, as you see on the weekly, we did reach this major trend line that I drew for a while now, and the first reaction was a rejection based on both on the trend line and this previous support level. I mentioned earlier that this would be the last line of defense for gold here, and that got defended as expected. The question is how far. As you see on the weekly time frame, we do have a bullish hidden divergence. This low here is much lower, despite that we do have actually equal lows and a higher close here. So that make us start thinking for a possible at least deeper correction higher on gold, and based on what we saw on the Dixie, so this seems to be possible. So last week we got this very strong bullish engulfing candle as a great rejection, and we were looking at the 1260 as an important major resistance that need to be broken for the gold to keep moving higher. So for next week, keep an eye on this 1260 area where we do have this possible inverted head and shoulder formation. And what I'm looking at, if we're gonna break the 1260 area, retest, and possibly a continuation at least toward the 1271-72 area up here. This would be the first trouble area on gold, and if that broken, then we may possibly start looking for even higher. As for now, we've had sideways movement and nothing is sure until we broke above that 1260, so keep an eye on that. That is important short-term level to be broken. Oil still bullish, as you see. We had a couple of very strong bullish weeks here, and we've been talking about the 75 where the Saudis said that is a fair price. So the question is, where is the new range on oil for now? Is it gonna be 66 to 75 where the price gonna play, or is it gonna be higher? As structure wise, we still see it moving to the upside. We've had we saw last week that oil been losing momentum with these small bodied candles here, and we've got this bearish engulfing, and we start looking at this support level as a possible important support area to be broken for more downside. That didn't happen since Friday. As you see, we've got a possible fake out below the structure, and then a very strong bullish engulfing candle, and the price closed at around the 74 area, yeah, 73.93 to be exact. I still see this range as an important range, and we're talking about this box here. So I will be monitoring to see if the price tests this support level again for a possible bounce, and maybe some ranging at this level inside this box until we see a clear break below or outside of the box. So when I say a break, I mean that we're gonna see the break, the retest that gonna fail, and then down, or the opposite to the upside, as it happened here, and the price went all the way back inside the box. The second candle, that is not a break, that is just a violation of the range, and we're still seeing this range as an important structure to keep an eye at, yeah. But all in all, still bullish, as you see, guys. Even though we break that range, we may meet some troubles at the 69.50 and at the bottom of this ascending channel here, as you see, yeah. For Forex, we start with Aussie Jappy, and the price been ranging in the low of this major range, as you see here. So we've been ranging a lot here, trying to break below the range, and many times didn't manage to do so. And lately we start seeing that the lows are getting higher, yeah. So there is some good and strong defense here from the bulls, and they seems to be pushing the lows higher all the time, building some pressure for what I'm expecting a possible build up for a breakout here. That's why I have this micro box down here to keep an eye at, and you see it much better on the 4-hour time frame. So we have this major range in this outer box, and we still have this minor range here, or micro range, that we should keep an eye at for next week. What we want to see is a clear break, and that the market hold above this structure, and the retest failed to go back inside the box. That would give the bulls some more confidence to keep moving higher, and probably toward the 83 as a first structure area, yeah. So expecting this level to give it some troubles. If broken, of course, we probably gonna test the top of the major range, yeah. Aussie New Zealand, we've reached a target. Those of you who've been following me knows that we've been trading this long, step by step, especially after the break of the structure, and we said that we probably now gonna test this important resistance level, and as soon as price reaches that area, we've got a very strong rejection, yeah. And we're still looking to see what will happen when the price reach the monthly pivot point down here, and the 50% Fibonacci retracement of this whole move. This would be the first area to look at to see if there is a possibility for another bounce higher or not, yeah. So for next week, I'm keeping an eye on this structure here, looking for any bullish evidence, and the reason is that this level been tested many times as resistance and support, and that's why this confluence with the 50% at this level could be an important level to look at. If broken to the downside, then we do have the 618 retracement also as a possible important area. That would be this area down here. As you see, the neckline also, it's an area where we had support and resistance many times in the past. But this 50% and the monthly pivot point is the more and better support, in my opinion, to keep an eye at. Yeah. Aussie USD also tried many times to break this important support level. Let's go to the weekly and show you this level. It been tested many times as support and resistance, as you see. Resistance here, the support at this test here and this test here. So it is a confluence area, and we've got 3 weeks rejections every time the price reached this level. Tried little deeper and deeper, but every time it got rejected. So it seems to be a good support level so far, at least to give it some correction higher. It does not need to be a total reversal yet. As you see, it is still a bearish structure with lower lows and lower highs on the weekly, and on the daily we had some kind of consolidation trying to break below, and that didn't happen. And as for now, it seems like we're building up for a possible break higher. Yeah. The problem here is that we do have, let me take these off, we do not need those for now. The problem is here that the first resistance level is close to where the price is right now, so 0.7500 is an important level that you should keep an eye at as first. And if that broken, then we probably gonna test this major area up here as well. Lower time frame, as you see on the 4 hour, this was sent in our trading room about looking for a break, retest and continuation. Last week or last Friday, we broke above this minor resistance and held above it. So that giving us more confidence that we may see some bullish continuation. So keep an eye on this level if tested again next week for a possible support and a bounce from this area on Aussie USD. Euro Aussie, I've been talking about this kill zone for a while. Since we broke above this level here, I said that we should keep an eye on this level. As for now, last week we got this nice dark cloud cover, which is a reversal signal, but we had no close below the low, so the signal was not there yet to short. We do have this previous structure and neckline 618 Fibonacci, but still no real signal. All we have so far is a first lower high on the daily here, as you see, and that possibly we're losing momentum. But as a structure, it is still a bullish structure with higher highs and higher lows. We start seeing a little bit of divergence, but mostly on the 4 hour, as you see. So looking on the 4 hour, we're looking at this possible head and shoulder here with clear divergence between the left shoulder and right shoulder, as you see. And we could use this trend line as a filter. So you want to see it broken, retest, that fails to enter, and then possibly a continuation lower. So for those of you who are looking for a reversal here, that would be the scenario, or at least that we start making lower lows also on the 4 hour. As for now, we have our first lower high structure here and here, but I need to see this structure broken, and if this got broken as well, this low here, that will send it at least toward this area around the monthly pivot point. EuroCAD, as you see here, the EuroCAD got rejected strongly when it reached the 50% and this previous structure. Pushed all the way down, never tested these structures here or the lows where I was expecting the EuroCAD to reach these levels before any rejection. But we made a nice rounded bottom, tried to break higher, but got rejected again Friday, and you see we had another previous rejection here. What made me think that the bulls was not strong. You see the bodies are very, very small compared to these 3 days bearish bodies, so expecting a possible continuation to at least this level, or probably these lows down here around the monthly S1 on EuroCAD, especially if oil keep holding at the highs, and if not, even more bullishness on oil would help the CAD pairs to be stronger. So last Friday on the 4 hour we've got this bearish engulfing, but I would like to see a close below monthly pivot point to be more confident that we will reach lower to this level and even test these lows down here. Yeah. Euro New Zealand also tested above this structure and closed above it, which is a clear break. Here the retest didn't hold above the support level, and we broke lower, which give us a signal that we may test deeper down in this correction. That's why I have my Fibonacci retracement here, and the best levels for now seems to be the 50% Fibonacci at this neckline. Let me change that. So we have this structure here where we do have the 50% and this previous neckline that may act as a possible support. Going down to the 4 hour, you see that we had this possible head and shoulder as well. The neckline is broken, but it's not a clear break yet. I would love to see that this close was a little bit lower previous week, but it is still a close below the low of the neckline, as you see. And my expectations is to test this structure down here around the 50% Fibonacci, as I showed you earlier on the daily, toward this level. Yeah, this would be the first structure of trouble down here. And Euro USD, the opposite that we saw on the Dixie. So the Dixie, we had a double top. Here we have a double bottom that where the neckline got broken, and you know that I've been talking about the 1.1720 as an important structure that now got broken. Yeah, so we have a daily and weekly close above this important level. Structure wise, it is still bearish, as you see, but this is now the first time that we do have a break above a previous structure high, as you see here, and close above that, which give me some more confidence to say that any retest toward this neckline on the lower time frame next week, we may reach the monthly R1 to test the high of this major bearish candle that we got after some dovish ECB statements. So this candle here is now the mother of this range, Any break above that will send the price much higher. Break below it will send us toward this structure down here, where we do have a lot of confluence of support level. Yeah, but my anticipation now after the break of the neckline that we at least test the monthly R1 and the high of this bearish engulfing candle. 4 hour time frame, as you see here, we've been following and trading these bounces on this trend line, waiting for the break, and that the price will hold above the resistance level here at the 1.1720, and we've got that last week. So any retest, as I said, toward this support level now could be a good area to buy, targeting the highs and the monthly R1 up here. That gonna surely be a trouble level for the price to break as a first test. Yeah, so keep an eye on that. Very interesting chart for next week. Sterling Aussie still sideways inside this range here, as you see. Nothing's changed, and we should keep playing this range. The look of it as for now could be a possibility to break higher, but there is no need to guess and start trying to guess what the market will do. The best way would be, and you see it clearly on the 4 hour time frame, that we keep playing this range. So we do have this range here as a first level. We should keep an eye on this support level to buy that, targeting the highs of the range, sell the highs of the range when reached, until you've got a breakout even to the upside like this, then retest and continuation. Or if we break this range, there is not much room before we reach the next support level down here. Yeah, so I would probably keep an eye on this monthly pivot point as a better buy level if reached. Okay, so this is the bigger range, where we do have this one is your bigger range, and this one is the smaller one, the upper range, that I am anticipating possible consolidation before a breakout here and continuation higher. I think the sterling have a little bit strength to show us the upcoming weeks. Sterling CAD though still looking heavy after this push lower, and right now we've had some kind of possible bear flag, as you see here, that we could be watching for a possible break to the downside based on CAD strength. So we do have those important news for the CAD for the next week to keep an eye at. As for now, this is an important support level that need broken for more downside, and any close above the monthly pivot point will give the bulls some strength to push it a little bit higher. On the 4 hour time frame, you see it clearly here that the monthly pivot point been acting as good resistant level. So the price is stuck inside this lower range, bouncing like this, and this is the range that you should keep an eye at for next week, and you could keep playing this range, buying the lows, selling the highs, until you have a breakout, retest, continuation. Or if we break lower, which I prefer more for this pair, would look something like this. Yeah, lots of arrows, but I think you've got what I mean. So worth to watch this structure and wait for that breakout for more confidence in the trade. Yeah, sterling Jappy looking a bit stronger once again after this very strong push higher, and now we managed to break and hold above monthly pivot point. If you're holding along, you should keep an eye at when the price reached this 147.50 area, which is, as you see, a very important support and resistance level coming from back here, and here we had before Brexit also another test for this area as a support level. So this is a very important flip zone, and this will decide the long-term move for sterling JAPY, yeah, because any break and close above that will probably give the bulls more strength, especially if we manage to break the neckline here around the monthly R1. That will confirm this double bottom and may send it all the way toward the 150 once again, yeah. So for next week, and if you're holding along, keep an eye on this structure here when tested, or if it got tested. On the 4 hour, you see that the lows keep getting higher. We broke above this structure and these highs now, and it looks very possible to reach this area up here without any troubles, yeah. So as first level is the monthly pivot point, where you could look for a possible buy and another bounce higher, yeah. Sterling USD also still in a bearish structure. Looking at the daily time frame, we still have lower lows here, lower highs all the way, but we've got some rejection and continuation, and now the price is about to test a very important level around the 1.33 even handle number. Gonna be an important resistance, yeah. But the close at or near the highs on Fridays did show that the bulls still was in control at the close, and any close above the high of this weekly pin bar, where we had the 1.33 as I mentioned earlier, could give the bulls even more strength, and that we probably test the area around the monthly R1, yeah. So this is the area I should be keeping an eye on. We want to see the break above that level, that the retest failed to go back below, and then you could expect to reach the monthly R1 up here, yeah, as a first trouble level on the way up. Lower time frame, you see that we do have we've been trading this break retest of this support level and targeting the 1.33, which is the important level short term to be broken, then the retest, and as I said, around the monthly R1 and these previous highs up here gonna be the first real trouble on the way up here. Okay. New Zealand JAPY is testing right now an important resistance level, as you see, coming from this area where we had the gap, then been tested as support here again. So the price is testing that area right now, and it's looking healthy for more upside, probably to test this high here, where it is really the level that gonna invalidate this bearishness in the price, yeah. That would be a good important lower high that got broken. We broke already one lower high here, as you see. So this is your first signal when we broke this level here and this neckline. that was a good signal that we may continue higher. Yeah, so we have this kind of reversal now, testing an important resistant level at the moment. I'm looking for any retest lower to see if we can get another bounce higher to test these highs up here. So the 76.15 up here would be the much stronger resistant on the way to the upside. New Zealand USD also about to test this important support and resistance level up here. As you see, if we look left, it's been tested many times here as support, resistance, support, support. So it is huge trouble area here where the price is heading toward that. And if we go back to the weekly, you see that we tested an important last line of defense. If that was broken, we would see the price testing these areas in the near terms. But this support did hold for now. Let's see if it will manage to break and hold above this possible resistance now. If that happened, then we do have a possibility that we test much higher around these levels above the monthly R1. So as first, keep an eye on this structure for a possible rejection back down. If that happened, I would be looking once again around this level for a possible bounce higher. And if that got broken and the price hold above this, then keep an eye on the retest for a possible bounce higher like this. Very interesting structure we're reaching now. So if the Dixie to keep being weaker, that may happen next week. We had this great trade still on the chart, publish it in my trading room. Break, retest, very easy one, and continuation. Yeah. So on the 4 hour, you see that we broke this high, we broke a couple of highs here, and we start making higher highs and higher lows. Could be a start of something, but before the break and hold above the monthly pivot point, we cannot be confident in the trade yet. Yes. So first of all, possible rejection here. If that happen, keep an eye on this neckline if tested for a possible buy level from this neckline of this head and shoulder formation here. Yeah. USD CAD, perfect trade. I've been mentioning this area many times, guys, in my weekly overview. And when we reach that, we've got bearish engulfing with this candle, weekly candle, and last week we had a break and close below that. I'm still expecting some more downside to test this possible support level down here. That is the first market objective in my opinion, the 1.30 once again. So on the daily, you see that we had this double top here with some nice divergence on the RSI. We tested the highs of this channel and got rejected back inside the channel. So if you're holding a short, there is nothing to worry about until we reach the 1.30, which is a possible support level where we could expect a bounce from that. And if we look left, you see why I am expecting this level to act as a possible support. So yeah, keep an eye on that. Short-term chart, as you see, also this been published after this break retest. We sold here, break retest, sell here. And the target, my trade still open and targeting the 1.30 here as important support level, yeah. And the thing that the daily close near the lows give it more confidence for the bears to keep pushing lower. USD Chief still going sideways, stuck between the highs up here and the monthly pivot point, still looking pressured to move lower. I think we're gonna test these areas for next week. The lows here and probably the structure down here may got tested, if not the monthly S1 where we do have this low here. If we look left, you see that this area been tested many times as good support and resistance, but I'm expecting to test the extremes on this one for next week, especially if the Dixie keep moving lower. So what you need to watch is this monthly pivot point. As you see on the 4-hour, it never got broken and closed below yet, yes, so we got some rejection back above that, but I am looking to see if we're gonna get the break, retest, and possibly continuation lower on this one. Sorry. USD Jappy, very boring at the moment, going sideways, small movement, small daily candles, nothing major is happening. The bigger range is from the monthly S1 down here around the 1940 area toward the 111. The price is now holding above the monthly pivot point and above this trend line. To the downside as a first support and possible buy level is the 110. To the upside is the 111. So as you see, sideways, and this is your major range that you need to be watching. This is the bigger range, and we do have another upper range which is from the 110 area toward the 111 up here. That is the upper range, yeah. I would highly recommend that you play the bigger range if you want to play it. Any retest to this level, possible sell. Trouble at the monthly pivot point and the 110, but the better support would be for now around the monthly S1 and the 109.30 area as a possible support level, yeah. Yeah, that is the area to keep an eye at. We've got our first lower high now after this try to move higher, but as you see, once again, the lows are higher also. That's why I'm saying it is a bit boring. There is no momentum and continuation on the pair. For the Dow, as you see, we had this nice rounded bottom here happening at the 200 moving average, so we're still around, or I think we are below that right now. This is the 200 moving average. We got a break and many retests, but couldn't be able to broke back above it until last Friday. And as I said, nice rounded bottom with higher lows and possible push higher. 4-hour time frame, you see that this nice rounded bottom is happening here inside this range, and this range is now almost broken, and I am watching more continuation to the upside. First trouble would be once again around the 24,600 here as a possible resistant level based on many retests earlier. That would be the 200 moving average at the 4-hour as well, around this area when the price tests this level. So look at that area as a possible resistance, and probably a reason to push the price back down if tested, to retest this broken structure. Any break above that, the retest, if it fails to go below the 24,600, then there is a possibility for more upside. Very uncertain market now with all the trade war been going on, and let's not forget that we're entering summer trading now, so we may get some ranging markets. But as news event for next week, I think you should keep an eye on all the headlines that about trade war, and see how that will unfold. Okay, I think that was the last market for today. Yes, we go back to Dixie, which means that was our last market. Thank you very much, guys. Once again, please hit the like button if you do like these sessions. If you're not subscribed to the session, do so, to the channel, do so to get all the notification when I upload videos or when I go live. So see you out there in the trading room for my lovely students, and for all the followers, see you over Facebook and Telegram and Instagram. Yeah, thanks a lot, and have a great trading week. Bye bye.